because I had no classes, so I took some paid leave. And then I was like, well, what should I do? Because, like, you know, I might as well do something that I can't do, like, at school, at home, right?
Sure.
And I was like, all right, I might as well just, like, take a fat nap then.
Fair.
So...
stream, internet,
So I got back, I played a little bit, did a few dailies, like, made some progress in Xenoblade, and then I went to sleep at around, like, 3-ish.
Okay, and,
I woke up around, like, 6.
alright.
So it was, like, a nice 3-hour nap. I don't know if you call that a nap anymore, but then I basically popped open Xenoblade again, and played for another, like, 2-3 hours-ish. And then I fell back asleep until 12. So that'd be from, like, I don't know, 9:30-ish to 12.
Okay.
And then I woke up at 12, and then I was up until, like, 6.
The ads are working? That's good. That's good. Glad to hear it, Ed. Worth noting, there is going to be a mid-roll ad in a minute. So...
But yeah, no, the reason why I sent you the message at, like, 5:30 a.m. my time was just to fuck with you.
Yeah, that one was... You're lucky I was writing code and wanted to focus on that.
I mean, I figured you still saw it, you just didn't respond.
It's not worth responding. If I respond, it's an excuse for you not to go to sleep.
If you respond, it's a victory for me.
No, I was busy working on a Tower of Hanoi coding problem, so... some good advice for any aspiring coders, not experienced, because if you're even have a modicum of experience, this probably is advice you probably already realized. Python lists work very well as makeshift stacks. Just putting that out there. Of course, if you actually want to do, like, regular data structures, you should probably use NumPy, but, you know. I'm a little afraid to ask what time it is for cake.
Probably around 5 a.m. No, probably around 3 a.m.
1:04 a.m.
Close enough. Anyway, they're gonna show up in about an hour, I think.
They're gonna show up in an hour and they're gonna be pissed.
Mm-hmm. But they're never not pissed whenever they show up, no matter what time it is.
Well,
So, like, nothing changes, really.
Well, yeah, something like that. Okay, I've been keeping an eye on the bitrate, and
here an omelet.
It hasn't exactly been the most
Ideal?
stable I've ever seen it, but it hasn't been.
I'm seeing a few stutters here and there.
It hasn't been awful. I know. I'm gonna take another sip of hot chocolate and then switch to the game.
I'm about like halfway through my omelet.
You know what? I got a couple chicken nuggets left. I'll eat those. Then once we finished eating, we'll play. I don't think we're gonna voice act like this. Anyways, you might have been in an ad when we said it, but hi Ed, how are you?
I think there were like 3 seconds left in the ad, yeah.
I'm drinking hot chocolate from my Mega Man mug. Have I seen you a picture of this mug? I'm not sure I
Is that
have.
me? No.
It's a really cool mug.
Actually, no, I don't think you sent me like any pictures, honestly, besides like your current setup.
Here's a couple pictures I took of it. Like probably a month or two ago. It's like heat changing.
Huh.
So they start blank, and then when you put hot water in it, they like the images show up.
Interesting.
I asked you both something last time before Gore. Okay. You forgore to say it last time, or you forgore what you wanted to ask? Delicious scraping sounds.
I'm trying to eat rice with a spoon. Cut me some slack.
Wouldn't you need to be doing the same thing if you're eating it with a fork?
Oh, I eat rice with chopsticks.
Oh, okay. Fair. Sorry, I'm extremely white. That doesn't occur to me as an option.
I'm just stronger.
Played Return of the Obra Dinn? No, but I know that game is fantastic. I have heard very good things about that game.
I have actually never heard about that game.
It's from the same person who made Papers, Please.
Oh.
So that's the level of like indie developer quality we're talking about. And everything I've seen about that game is that it's really good. It's like about a mystery of what happened on a ship. But you play the role of like the insurance man going through and like piecing it together.
Huh.
It's another like bureaucracy sort of simulator.
Yeah.
Like with Papers, Please.
Yeah. Kind of what you'd expect, yep.
But anyway, you good with eating? Ready to play? Ready to voice act without destroying our poor chat's ears?
I mean, I don't have water right now, but
well, we can fix that.
yeah, I'll fix that.
Damn it, it was probably on sale during the spring sale, and I just didn't even think to look. Square Enix Publisher Sale. Ooh. What the fuck? Power Wash Simulator is published by Square Enix? How did I not know this? Noah, did you know Power Wash Simulator was published by Square Enix? Because I sure didn't.
Wait, what?
Power Wash Simulator is published by Square Enix.
Yes.
Yes. I didn't know that.
I think this is also why you can find Final Fantasy music in its music player.
Oh, that makes sense. I have not played the game. I didn't know that was in the game, but it makes sense that it's in the game. God, $16 for Nier Automata. That game's really good. You know, I need to go back and actually play Nier Replicant again, because there's a bug in the PC port where if you play the game at 60 frames per second, it's playing at double speed.
Yeah, I think you told me about that. Did
Yeah,
I tell you about?
So I need
Did
to
I tell
go
you about
back
Ys?
About Ys?
Yeah, Ys 1.
I'm not sure.
It's basically the same bug, except when you have frame rate uncapped, anything past 60 will accelerate it by that much.
Nice.
So if you're running at like 150 frames, like one of my friends did, one of the bosses is just fucking impossible.
I never fully finished Nier Replicant, like all the endings, because for one of them there's like trial rooms you have to go through, and some of them have a time limit that just goes by way too quickly. But yeah. Weird frame rate fuckery has been a thing in games for a very long time. Okay, you have water now, so I'll go ahead and
I do have
switch
water
to
now.
Game.
It fits the vibe. What vibe?
Oh, what? Whoa, wait, what the fuck?
Huh?
What have I done?
What have you done? I mean, if the vibe is like general failure, then yeah, that fits.
The vibe of the stream. Oh yeah, yeah, it's kind of like a puzzle game. Okay. So I was trying to clear up some clutter in Streamlabs, and I accidentally deleted the game capture source. So we're good now. We're good now. Let's
boy.
load up case 5.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, we're destroying my voice is what we're doing.
we're cross-examining Arceus. So let's go through and kind of skim reread it. Doing some paperwork in quarters. Suppose I lost track of time. Long one for his time for afternoon prayers. Heading to the prayer room. Spotted Lady Steelwind looking over the westward balcony. Tried to greet her. She didn't respond, so I know she was pushing something large over the balcony into Lake Galacrond. Asked her what she was doing. Again, she ignored me and went towards the prayer room. Thought nothing of it. Made my way there as well. As when the guards there turned me away. I guess
That one's suspect, but yeah, I was thinking press on this.
I'm thinking we press on 3, 4, and 6.
Yeah. So she ignored you. What was her expression like? It was very cold and emotionless. And the patron must have had control of her when this happened. Yes, that certainly makes the most sense. What time did this encounter happen? It was shortly after my alarm went off. It was definitely before 2:15 p.m. Okay.
Okay. Hold on a sec.
Yeah. Yeah.
There we go.
Objection!
What? Is something wrong? There is, but I'm not really sure what it means. Stop stammering and say what you want to say. Hi, speaker. You said that you saw Arya dumping something over the ledge of the balcony. There's no need to be vague, Cuthbert. It's clear from the evidence that he saw my daughter dumping Lady Sybil's body. That's the thing, Lord Steelwind. It couldn't have been Sybil's body. What are you talking about? Location from that balcony to where we found Lady Sybil's body lines up perfectly. That may be, but the witness just said he saw Arya dumping the body before 2:15 p.m. Wait. You see it too, don't you, Lucia? How did Arya dump Corley and Sybil's body into Lake Galacrond before 2:15 p.m.? If her time of death was 2:18 p.m.
I see. That does seem peculiar.
But we know the defendant threw Sybil's body from that balcony. There would be no other explanation for how it ended up there. Yes, that's also true.
Perhaps she was still alive when Arya threw her off that balcony. She could have been knocked unconscious with a sleep spell.
Grace, there were no traces of conjuration magic on her body. And even if she was asleep, she wouldn't have survived the fall from that height.
Let me just double check. Okay.
And Stoneskin?
I'm thinking I know what Stone Skin is. If I can find it here.
Transmutation.
Transmutation, yeah. I was thinking abjuration, but whatever.
The distance from that balcony to the lake is more than 30 stories. And the autopsy report says the cause of death was suffocation, not blunt force. Right.
So when did she die?
After she hit the water, right?
Hi, Sieg.
I mean, that's the only... Hey, Sieg. Do you want me to recap?
I mean, it's...
Because I know Sieg's invested.
Yeah, I mean, it's a quick recap.
All right, five sentence.
Really? You're gonna try and do this in... You're gonna do exactly 5 sentences?
Time to channel my inner Phoenix right. I don't actually know how far in we were when Sieg went. When Sieg left, though. So.
I thought I thought you were talking about, like, what's happened to this stream.
Oh, no. No. Like, nothing happened right now.
No, we did one cross-examination.
Hey, Bombadron, we just started, so everything's good. Sieg, what's the last thing you remember from this trial?
Finally rough day. Oh, sorry, Bumbletron.
That's unfortunate. Well, I hope we cheer you up just a little bit. When revealed that Arya unknowingly signed a blood contract.
Okay.
So
I mean,
we did two idiots fuckery and kind of deduced that it was the prince, but we don't have a motive. Or rather, the only thing that makes sense within the context of this case is that she signed a marriage contract with the prince, who's the patron of said contract, because the only two suspects that we had were the prince and the archbishop, and she would never sign a legal document like that with the archbishop. After that, I mean, that's pretty much it, right? We figured out that that Von Sanctus died to asphyxiation inside of his force cage because the fire around him burnt all over the oxygen.
yep.
And he couldn't get out because the force cage can't be dispelled until an hour passes. And right now we're currently in the middle of trying to figure out when Sybil died and how.
Okay, so we're thinking after she hit the water, because...
Yes.
Yeah, because Stone Skin would have protected her from the fall.
Yes. But it probably would have left her unable to swim.
True.
She must have died after she hit the water.
Yeah, so after she hit the water, yeah.
But Mr. Cuthbert, Luthio just said she would have died upon impact.
Oh no, what I said was reading Tyrion's lines.
Oh. Yeah, fair.
She must have died after she hit the water. But that's assuming she didn't do anything to lessen the blow. She might have had the opportunity to cast a spell to protect herself. That might explain why her body isn't as damaged despite falling from such a great height. She does have feather fall, doesn't she?
Yeah, she has slow fall. So there must have been... So she must have already been at least knocked out by that point, and Stone Skin is all that saved her.
Or she was completely conscious, cast slow fall, and couldn't dispel Stone Skin. Because she would have sank like a stone.
Fall significantly slower. True.
Objection!
Again, that doesn't match with the evidence. Lady Sybil's spell compendium contains the spell Slow Fall. If she had the opportunity to cast a spell, she would have used that spell to slow her descent. And she wouldn't have taken any damage from hitting the lake if she'd done that. That's a really good point. But just indulge me for a second. Which spell did Sybil cast on herself?
Where's Stone Skin?
She must have cast Stone Skin on herself. Stone Skin. If you recall, the High Speaker mentioned that something was strange about the object Arya threw over the balcony. It was much darker and didn't match with Sybil's usual garb. Almost as if there was something else Sybil was wearing.
That object was actually Lady Sybil protected by a layer of stone.
But that still doesn't explain why she would cast that instead of Slow Fall.
He's right.
Why did Sybil cast Stone Skin on herself? Before they were attacked?
Before the murders? Before being thrown into the lake.
Yes. She cast Stone Skin on herself before she was thrown into the lake. Arya must have attacked her, and she cast that spell in response. That would protect her from the Steel Wind strike.
But that doesn't seem quite right.
What do you mean?
I may not have seen much, but I saw that the object Arya dumped was stiff and motionless. If it had been Lady Sybil, she would have been struggling against her, wouldn't she?
That's a good point too. I like how this part of the trial's going, where they're just like cooperatively trying to figure out what the fuck happened.
Yeah.
The High Speaker saw Arya dumping a motionless Sybil, but if we assume my logic is correct, she would have also been still been alive. Why was Sybil motionless despite being conscious? So why wasn't she struggling against Arya?
She was affected by the afternoon sun.
Hell yeah!
The afternoon
A
sun.
true shut-in.
Yeah. She was affected by a spell. She must have been affected by a spell, and considering it kept her from resisting Arya, the patron must have made Arya cast that spell on her.
Which spell did Arya cast on Sybil?
That would be Hold Creature.
It was Hold Creature. Sybil must have cast Stone Skin on herself when Arya attacked her. The patron must have known that Arya couldn't physically damage her like that, so they ordered her to restrain Sybil with that spell. And Sybil died by suffocation. That's right, Lucia. How did Sybil suffocate? Even if she was restrained, Sybil was still protected by Stone Skin. That would have left only one option for the patron.
Sybil drowned Arya. Arya drowned Arya.
Let's go. No. I think it should be Arya wasn't aware of Arya.
True. All these are good. Sybil drowned in Lake Galacron.
Sybil suffocated when Arya threw her into Lake Galacron. Her stone skin lessened the impact of the fall, but it also made her drop like a literal rock. Arya's Hold Creature spell prevented her from moving or releasing her spell. She was helpless as she sank to the bottom of the lake.
I believe that covers all 3 of the murders, then.
Yes. Lord Von Sanctus suffocated to death in his own force cage. Lady Sybil drowned after Arya cast Hold Creature on her. And Lord Pierce died after being wounded by a blade created with shaped liquid.
Which one, Ed? Which one? No, I don't think we're moving on until you answer that question.
I'm just sipping water.
Anyway, while Ed gets out of this corner he's written himself into, I think there is a common theme here.
Yes, there is.
Both can't reach you. That isn't an answer to my question, but you know.
I don't know, I think it's answer enough.
Every victim kind of died like of sort of as a consequence of themselves, or like, okay, let me see if I can illustrate what I'm saying. Von Sanctus died in his own force cage. Sybil died while
from
in
her
her
own
own stone skin.
And Pierce died from
And-
his own blood.
Sure, from his own blood, but also in the same way that he killed
See, but
Flintheart McCoy.
Pierce is the only one that doesn't make as much sense, because that one, the other two were basically what was meant to protect them, killed them. But for Pierce, the only thing that makes sense is that he was killed by an outside force.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see.
The only common thread I see is that the patron used some of the victim's magics against them.
But how does that connect to Pierce? Did he cast Shape Liquid to make a
Yeah.
blade to defend himself? Maybe the murderer took it from him and used it against him. No, but he was knocked unconscious alongside you. He couldn't have been the one to create that blade.
Anyways, whoever did this had an in-depth knowledge of each of the spells they used to defend themselves. They knew that Von Sanctus couldn't dispel his own force cage.
Out of curiosity, what's Pierce's compendium again?
There.
Prestidigitation, Conjure Light, Conjure Water, Frost Wave, Shape Liquid.
And they also knew that he still needed oxygen from within it. And in Sybil's case, they knew Arya couldn't physically harm her once she had Stone Skin active. And they also knew that Hold Creature would prevent Sybil from dispelling her own Stone Skin. Not only that, they did all this in a quick time frame. Von Sanctus and Sybil died within 13 minutes of each other. And if Arya hadn't encountered Celeste, Pierce might have died just as quickly.
So whoever did this had an in-depth knowledge of high-level magic.
Not only that, they came up with the creative ways to bypass the defenses put up by Von Sanctus and Sybil.
Yes, they had the ability to react quickly and decisively.
But considering the circumstances, that hardly narrows it down. Several members of the Four Pillar families were present that day. Each and every one of them studied at the Imperial Academy. They would all be knowledgeable in magic and its applications.
Something they're saying isn't sitting right by you for some reason. There's something there, so why can't you see it? It's no use. Just can't piece it together yet. But you're not finished yet.
There's another angle to this. Consider who the patron did and didn't target. What was similar about some of the targets? Victims were Lloyd Von Sanctus, Corlin Sybil, and Garrick Pierce. What's a similarity that we can draw between at least two of them? Von Sanctus and Sybil, or Sybil and Von Sanctus, are house leaders of pillar families?
Yeah.
Von Sanctus and Sybil were the heads of their respective noble houses.
Are you saying the patron's goal was to assassinate leaders of the Four Pillars?
And that's the motive that makes the most sense. But that does leave one question. Don't be coy. I'm not daft, Cuthbert. Actually, I highly doubt it was you. Really now. Out of most of the people there, you could have easily tricked your daughter into signing a blood contract. But why would you need to do that? You're the Grand General of Wyvern military, and the cathedral was filled with your men. You could have easily equipped one of your best mages to carry out this massacre. And you wouldn't even need to make a deal with the demon to do so.
So why wasn't Lucio targeted then?
From her encounter with Celeste, it's clear there's a limit to Arya's combat capabilities. The patron might have simply doubted Arya's ability to defeat the Grand General. But there's also another explanation. Why didn't the patron target Lucio Steelwind?
Wanted to frame
Wanted to
House
frame House
Steelwind
Steelwind.
for the murders.
Yeah. The patron wanted people to suspect House Steelwind for the murders. They used Lucio Steelwind's daughter to commit the crime. Then they intentionally left him alive to cast suspicion on him. That's why they used my daughter?
Is that a tinge of anger you feel from him?
Anyways, that leads me to my next point. Imagine if we never discovered Arya's blood contract with the Empress of Discord. What would have happened?
We'd still think that Miss Steelwind succumbed to Mage Blight. She would have been convicted for the murders, and trust in House Steelwind would be forever diminished.
About a month ago, House Freyga lost its head. And his successor, Leifa Freyga, was woefully unprepared to take his place.
Sorry, something it's occurring to me that yeah, Maranath did that. A demon.
Yes.
A blood contract was signed to remove the leader of House Freyga,
Yes.
and now a
And
blood
Maranath
contract.
Maranath
has
is a
been-
subordinate of Eris.
Yes.
I mean, Eris just wants the whole world to burn.
Yeah.
Now the heads of House Von Sanctus and House Sybil are dead.
Holy shit! Cheap viewers on streamboo.com removed the space.
It's a likely ban evader, so other people are restricted from seeing it.
Oh.
We're the only ones that can.
Boo.
Boo.
Oh well, get banned, idiot.
Damn. You were ahead of me.
Well, I also have like mod like some mod like quick mod tools on my chat. So like I could time out Ed for 10 minutes with the click of a mouse button.
Heh.
What?
Heh.
What?
No, don't worry about it.
What?
With House Steelwind being held responsible for it all.
All 4 of the Pillar families would have been weakened as a result of the massacre.
But I think there's another layer to this. Everything fits together if we assume that the patron's goal was to weaken the Pillar families. Except for the murder of Garrick Pierce. Yes, in contrast to Sybil and Von Sanctus, Pierce's political power pales in comparison. Furthermore, Pierce was already scheduled to be executed next month for the murder of Flintheart McCoy. Why did the patron target Garrick Pierce? Why would the patron go to the trouble of murdering a condemned man? Hid the identity of Celeste's parents. Pierce knew the identity of Celeste's parents.
Knew the identity,
right?
yes.
The patron murdered Pierce because they needed him to die as quickly as possible. Pierce knew the identity of Celeste's biological parents.
My parents?
Do you remember what Pierce said when we showed up for the meeting? Pierce was you.
Pierce was me?
Yes.
Oh, no, you're right. You're right.
Because I was Rudolph.
You were. I think we got that wrong. Last time.
There was no we. That was you.
Oh. You agreed with me, and did it.
Uh huh.
Ah, you finally arrived. Suppose this means you finally decided. Wait, you two? We got your letter.
Letter? What letter?
Oh wow, look at that. A 10-minute timeout button. What does that do?
Oh wow, what a coinky-dink of 10-minute timeout button. You sent us a letter, Pierce. It said that you knew who Celeste's parents were.
I did send that letter, but not to you two.
We weren't the intended recipients of that letter.
That's right.
So that leaves one last question. Who did Pierce originally send that letter to? The patron.
I was very scared that a name was going to pop up.
There's only one person Pierce could have sent that letter to. The person who orchestrated the massacre in the first place, the patron. That means... The patron is someone who would be threatened by Celeste's parentage.
Order! Order in the court!
But I don't understand.
I'm sorry, I know this is a lot to take in. But I think they're targeting you for some reason. Pierce knew the identity of Celeste's parents and attempted to blackmail the patron with this. Instead of complying with Pierce's demands, the patron instead sent the letter to me. But why go to the trouble of luring you there? They could have just allowed Pierce to wait in the prayer room while the defendant made her way to murder him. Looking back on it, it's possible they wanted to kill Celeste too.
What?
They knew I wouldn't meet with Pierce alone, and the information he had was about her. The patron correctly guessed that I'd bring her with me. By killing both Pierce and Celeste, they'd eliminate any threat Celeste would pose to them.
But who would be threatened by such information?
The mere existence of McCoy posed a threat to them. It must have something to do with her birthright. Right. So who would that leave? Here we are. Here we are. Here we go.
Here we go. Here we go.
King de Wyverngard just recently died. What if Celeste was a member of the royal family?
You think I'm a princess?
I don't want to suspect Aster, but we need to consider every possibility. And when it comes to conflicts of inheritance, a royal line of succession is the first thing that comes to mind. Not only that, the king would have had the authority to pardon Pierce for his crimes. But that wouldn't entirely make sense. What do you mean? If McCoy was abandoned at a tavern in Cornhaven, we must assume she's a bastard child.
Okay. I don't know why you have to bring that up.
My point is that King Olivier wouldn't abandon a child of pure royal blood. The kingdom requires heirs to continue the royal bloodline. You would have leveraged her in a diplomatic marriage. That's disgusting. That's diplomacy, Cuthbert. Anyways, even if McCoy was of royal blood, Aster is the king's eldest child. And he's of pure royal blood. Unless he's not.
Unless he's not.
McCoy would have no claim to the throne under these circumstances. Right, I see what you mean. I suppose that eliminates Aster for now.
Oh my god, it's only... I just checked my email real quick, and the place where we're supposed to submit homework has finally been posted, like less than 36 hours before the deadline. When
Lovely.
we've been assigned this for a week now.
Lovely. Anyways, we should consider the other suspects first. So who would that leave?
I guess we just go down the list, right?
Yeah, because the only thing that makes sense is the royal family.
Yeah. I mean, House Frege, I guess.
Like, from these choices, because House Frege... No, that wouldn't make sense, because there's no reason why... Maybe.
I don't know. We'll do it.
Like following this logically, because Beatrice was there.
Yeah.
I recall during Beatrice Frege's trial, we heard William Frege's last will and testament. I mean, we know that it's not her,
No.
but like logically speaking, she was there. It mentioned that House Frege's assets would be divided evenly between all of his children. If McCoy were to be revealed as a Frege, his daughters would be legally obligated to share the estate with her.
Could I seriously be a Frege?
I don't want to suspect Leifa or Miriam, but we need to consider every possibility. And as we've seen, the Freges are no strangers to making deals with demons. But it still doesn't quite fit. I doubt Leifa or Miriam would do something like this.
What are you basing that on?
I tend to be a good judge of character, and they just don't seem like the type to do something like this. You're far too trusting. I hold no doubt that any of William's children would be capable of something like this. I suppose we'll have to see. Anyways, we should consider the other suspects first. So who would that leave? As much as I have my doubts, House Steelwind is the only Pillar family whose house leader survived the past month. You think I'm McCoy's biological father? Celeste Steelwind? Celeste Steelwind?
You're barely a father to your actual daughter.
I don't know, I think it's time for Celeste Steelwind to make a return. I'm only stating that possibility for the sake of argument. As I've said, it wouldn't make sense for you to frame your own daughter when House Steelwind would be blamed. But we need to consider every possibility. Anyways, we should consider the other suspects first. So who would that leave? What if the Eye Taker orchestrated this whole thing? The Eye Taker, that common criminal. What reason would he have to do this? I've heard firsthand that he was planning to expand his influence throughout Wyverngard. He was actually plotting with Beatrice to use House Frege to do so. Since I ruined his original plans, setting up that massacre might have been his backup plan. Perhaps we're looking at this all wrong.
Some Godfather-ass planning.
What if Celeste was part of the royal family and they were planning to use her to take the throne? But if he wanted to do so, why would he put McCoy in danger by having my daughter attack her? Not only that, he also had the perfect opportunity to murder His Majesty. Imagine if he had placed a more lethal contingent spell on that glyph of contingency. His Majesty might have very well died alongside Von Sanctus disabling Pierce. Yeah, I suppose you're right. But we need to consider every possibility. Can't think of anyone else.
Yes, there's a flaw with each suspect. Your logic's clearly flawed.
Well, you don't see him coming up with any ideas.
There's something here I'm not seeing. But I know I'm close. There's a missing piece that ties this all together. Regardless, we still have no idea who this Empress of Discord is. I am loath to allow such an individual to walk freely through Wyverngard. Grace, you've been alive since the creation of Wyverngard and magic. Do you know who this demon is?
I can't say I do. Demons tend to take on many titles over their lifetimes. But whoever this Empress is, they are brave to so blatantly encroach on my domain like this.
Well, I suppose we'll just have to cross that bridge when we get there.
We've obtained a lot of information today, but we clearly have many questions that need to be answered. How should we proceed? What is it, Mr. Cuthbert?
I can't help but feel there's something here I'm not seeing. I just can't put my finger on it.
We have been working at this for quite a while. Perhaps we should suspend proceedings so that we can look into these new leads.
I have no objections. It would give my men some time to look into what we discovered today.
Then it's settled. We'll be postponing proceedings for now, but you'll all be expected to return here by tomorrow morning.
You're all free to return to your homes for the time being. But make no mistake, the Kingsguard will be keeping careful watch over all of you.
Still this constant nagging sensation in the back of your mind. Hey, Tyrion? As if you've forgotten something extremely important. Tyrion? What is it? What could be so important yet so difficult to remember? Tyrion!
Sorry? I was just thinking about everything.
You're looking really stressed out. Do you want to head back to your house to rest?
No, we only have a day until the trial resumes. If we can't figure out what happened after tomorrow, the magical traces will dissipate.
But you already know what happened, you just don't know who did it.
Yeah, but we should speak with the suspects again. Maybe if I get lucky, I'll see something through the Eye of Horus.
But one of the suspects is the Eye Taker. What are you going to do about him?
I suppose I'll have to speak with him too.
What? No. What if he tries to kill you again?
Arya's life is on the line. That's just a risk I'll have to take.
Tyrion, do you even understand what you've been pulled into?
What?
Someone just murdered a bunch of nobles, and they even attacked members of the royal family. Now there are ancient dragons and demon lords involved too. Isn't this above your pay grade?
Ouch.
You know that's not what I meant. It's just this whole thing is crazy, isn't it?
It's fine. It's just like any other of our investigations. Just a normal Sunday.
It's not, though. What if the Empress of Discord attacks you? What if the patron decides that you're getting too close to the truth? What if I can't... Her voice begins to break.
Celeste? Are you still worried about what happened during the massacre? I'm fine. I already told you that you didn't do anything wrong.
You almost died, Tyrion.
I know.
Tyrion, you almost died.
I know, Celeste.
No, Tyrion, I don't think you do. Do you have any idea how worried I was when she broke past me? When I saw you all lying on the floor, so many things were going through my mind. I don't know what I would have done if you were... She can't even complete that sentence.
Celeste,
So focused on everything else that you've been ignoring her. She was attacked by Arya and almost died. You never even thought about how traumatic that must have been for her.
I'm sorry. I didn't think...
Don't apologize. Just please. Please just leave this to Lucio and the Scaled Lord. You've done enough already. They can figure the rest of it out.
And what if it's not enough?
I'm
not so arrogant that I think they can't do it without me. But what if they can't figure out who the patron is? Arya will spend the rest of her life in prison. What if I could have done something to prevent that?
I don't care if that happens.
Celeste!
I don't care, Tyrion. I'll apologize to her all you want after this. But all I want is to keep you safe. And I don't know if I'm able to do that anymore. Even she seems surprised by what she said. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to...
I'm really happy you're a part of my life.
What?
I know what you're saying is coming from a place of care. And I'm really sorry about how much I've been worrying you lately, but
You're not going to stop, are you?
it's like I've always said.
Man, king or god, nothing will stop you from getting justice for your clients. I'm going to talk to Lucio.
What?
If we're going to meet the Eye Taker again, we're bringing some knights with us.
Celeste, that's hardly...
Nope, you don't get a say in this. And if you're not here when I get back, I will find you. Judging from her expression, it's not an empty threat.
Fine, just go.
She might have a point, though. Before everything happened, you weren't even sure if you wanted to continue being an attorney. Maybe you should consider a safer, quieter life after all this is done. Perhaps a life with her. Wait, what? Alright, Lucio's cleared it.
Honestly, that's such a Tyrion move to realize his feelings and then just do a double take.
Just be like, huh, that's a little weird. It was surprisingly easy to convince him.
Oh,
Are you okay?
I'm fine. Let's not waste any more time.
Before she has a chance to respond, you hastily walk past her. Hey, don't walk so far ahead. You need to stay focused on the trial for Arya's sake. When this is all over, you'll... Well, you suppose you don't have to think about that until then.
That's such a Tyrion move.
Yeah.
Don't mind like the major death flag.
You know. You know.
You know.
Music!
Oh, I have feelings for her. I have feelings for her?
In Kingsguard's teleportation network, you arrive back in Ratholm. Due to Celeste's insistence, you're being escorted by a division of the Kingsguard. They definitely make you look out of place. As you walk through the city, you draw strange looks from nearly everyone who sees you. Sir, where will we be heading first?
Oh,
It's a little strange giving orders to knights. It's definitely going to take some getting used to. What's wrong?
There's definitely something I'm fundamentally missing, but what?
Just don't push yourself too hard, okay?
Yeah, I'll try to pace myself. Anyways, we should speak with each of the suspects and confirm their alibis. That might help me finally put things together.
Each of the nobles has returned to their respective homes. Our teleportation network should help you travel around Wyverngard. Alright.
Investigation time. Should we hit up Frigga Manor first?
I suppose. Okay, music's back. You arrive at Frigga Manor hoping to speak with Leifa and Miriam. After some asking around, one of the servants mentions that they appear to be entertaining guests in the study. Normally wouldn't interrupt them, but you've already eaten up a lot of time traveling here. Whatever they're discussing can wait. Ah! As you enter the study, Tracker runs up to you and begins barking. Once he sees who you are, he calms down. Oh, hello, friends. Sorry for Borks. Tracker thought he smelled something bad.
Smells something bad?
Hmm.
Dogs are never wrong. Dogs are never wrong.
Hmm.
Don't mind that Tracker was very, very wrong.
Was
Something
he, though?
bad, eh?
Was he wrong, though?
Something bad, eh?
Oh, Mr. Cuthbert. Scan the room and see that Miriam is there, too. They appear to be speaking with Lord Asclepius.
I'm sorry for barging in, Leifa.
No, it's no problem at all. Rosen implies she already knows why you're here.
I'll skip the pleasantries. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions about what happened?
Of course. I'll do anything to help with Lady Steelwind's situation. Oh, who was Asclepius?
That was you too.
That was me
Because
too?
I was
okay.
because I was the priest, remember?
Oh, yeah. Should I leave? No, you were there with me when everything happened, and your testimony will substantiate my alibi.
Oh.
Oh.
Anger?
Weird.
Leifa, I'm sure you know why I'm here. But I just want to preface this by saying that I highly doubt you were behind this.
No, I perfectly understand. Frankly, I'm also at a loss. I have no idea who did this.
What are you talking about? It was clearly that criminal, the Eye Taker. Why don't you go interrogate him? Make no mistake, we fully intend to. But I'd like to cover everyone else before I confront him.
Let him be, Miriam.
But it's his fault that Beatrice is...
Our sister knew what she was doing when she gave her testimony. Don't insult her bravery by blaming Mr. Cuthbert for what happened.
What?
Anyways, Mr. Cuthbert has shown many times that he's acting in good faith, and he's capable of convicting the criminals that even we can't see.
Awkward.
Yeah, a little awkward.
You mentioned Beatrice before. Did something happen?
It happened right after she gave her testimony this morning. She fell unconscious shortly after she left the Scaled Lord's lair. She hasn't woken up since then, and Maranath has gone missing.
What?
I'm trying to remember the voice I did the first time, because I liked that voice, and I don't know what I did with it. Must have been the Empress of Discord. After you manifested Lady Steelwind's blood contract, we all realized why she was acting so strangely.
Right. If it weren't for her, I never would have considered trying to issue a divine edict.
She sacrificed herself to save Lady Steelwind.
It seems our esteemed sister put her trust in you, commoner.
So we will do the same. If there's anything we can do to help you, please ask.
Once again, just another reason why Beatrice is such a good character.
Yeah?
Though I also feel like she's half doing it out of grudge against Eris. I appreciate your trust, all of you. But I have to ask, where were you all between 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. that day?
Luckily, we were all together. Me, Leifa, Miriam, Beatrice, and her friend were all in the garden before 2 p.m. But at around 2 p.m., my sister and Miss Ometa both went missing.
I can't believe we trusted her to take care of our sister.
Hush now, Miriam. If the Empress of Discord took control of her, there was hardly anything Miss Ometa could do to stop it. I really do hope she's okay. She's been missing since the massacre.
You mentioned that you all went to search for her. Did you see anything?
No, we were originally planning to search the cathedral grounds. But when we arrived at the nave, we found Asta trapped in a force cage.
Did any of you lose track of each other during that time?
No, we stayed together for the entire time. But we did consider splitting up to cover more ground. But the King's Guard found us and asked us to stay where we were.
Right, I suppose that makes sense. And did you see Eris at all when this happened?
No, we never saw her.
Beatrice, Freyga, and Eris Ilmater were accounted for in the garden until 2 p.m., but after that they both went missing. Eris supposedly lost track of Beatrice and searched for her in the garden. Leifa Freyga, Miriam Freyga, and Lazar Asclepius were together and were about to search for Beatrice at 2:05 p.m. However, they were stopped by the King's Guard, who reported the Glyph of Contingency had just trapped Aster the Wyvern Guard in a force cage. Okay, so that also gives us a time frame for when Force Cage happened.
Okay.
She went missing at the same time that Beatrice did. That's really suspicious.
You don't think...
It's definitely possible she was involved in this somehow. Not to mention the Eye Taker is one of our suspects, and she's his daughter. She's his what? You didn't know? I'd have thought that Beatrice would have told you.
No, she didn't mention that at all. Looks like Eris has a lot to answer for. If you can even find her, that is.
I suppose I'll stop beating around the bush. Have any of you made a blood contract with a demon lately? How dare you, this arrogant little peasant!
No, I understand where he's coming from. I want to understand, but the very idea is infuriating. Of everyone present, our sister was the only person with known ties to a demon. If she were to share that secret with anyone, it would have been us. Didn't catch any incriminating thoughts from them through the eye, but you've been misled by it before.
Nevertheless, we still have no idea who the patron is.
I was actually meaning to ask you during the trial. Can't you just use this divine edict of yours to figure out who the patron is?
No, to manifest a blood contract, I need the title of the demon and the name of the human they made that contract with.
I understand that, but why not just apply brute force?
What?
Brute force it! Due to the king's funeral, the Kingsguard has a detailed list of everyone who was present during the massacre. Whoever this patron is, they were working together with the Empress of Discord. That must mean they made a blood contract with her, yes?
That's right. I could just keep issuing divine edicts until a blood contract appears.
Wait, is that safe?
There's only one way to find out.
Take out your notes and begin looking at your list of suspects. Might be at this for a while, so you might as well go in order. Clear your throat in preparation.
Empress of Discord, wherever you may hide. Release thy guards and manifest your blood contract with Aster the Wyvern Guard.
Tyrion, what's wrong? Collapse to the ground as you suddenly find yourself overcome in immense pain.
What? What's happening to him?
Lazarek, use your magic to heal him. Right. I'm guessing I know who this is.
That's Eris. That's Eris.
Yeah.
That's absolutely Eris.
Oh, you silly, silly boy. Maybe half human, but you can't just go around declaring lies like that.
What?
And I was really looking forward to bringing you to the end of this. I haven't even started to have my fun yet.
Who are you?
Actually, I suppose that contract is still in effect. I guess my hands are tied. I'll save you. Just this one.
Oh, so... Wait. Okay, one thing, ad break.
Yeah,
Two,
we got that in 30 seconds, so...
I've always thought that divine edicts were just something that happened. Like, you issue it and it automatically appears, but what if it's a two-way thing? Where if Tyrion issues it, Eris has to give it up. And
I
if so,
suppose.
then Eris is the one that makes the final call on whether or not a blood contract exists. But as she can't lie, her hands are normally tied unless she, like in this case, maybe forgets.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, ad break.
Or yeah, the ad break's going on, but I am gonna kind of share my thoughts on it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like Celestials are bound by the same rules as demons. They can't tell lies. So in a divine edict, if you claim that a blood contract exists, but it doesn't, then you're punished the same way.
I mean, I don't think Tyrion's actually ever lied, right? I don't think he ever has. Has he?
Not directly, but also he.
But I think he has.
He probably
He has
he's
skirted the
lied.
line
Yeah,
very close.
I
So
think
I don't-
he's. I mean, I think there's a chance he's lied as a human.
It's probably when he channels his celestial powers. I'd assume.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was driving at. Like when he's doing something like celestial related, like issuing a divine edict, then
He can't lie during it.
yeah, and like issuing divine
maybe
edict, like
that's-
manifest a blood contract. If it doesn't exist,
No,
then
you're totally right. Because remember, the Eye of Horus just reveals truths.
yes.
It makes him unable to lie to people, and it makes people unable to lie to him. Anyway, the ad is still going on for a little bit.
Yeah. Hey, welcome back, everybody. We're just talking about how Tyrion, when using something.
I'm still in an ad for like 15 more seconds.
Oh, weird. It said that the ad was done.
Yeah, but Twitch is also a fucking bastard, so. maybe give it like 10 more seconds.
Okay.
Okie doke, welcome back.
Hi, we were just talking about how when Tyrion uses his celestial powers, he's bound by the same rules as demons. That he cannot
Probably,
lie.
most likely.
Most likely, that seems to be right. Tyrion, please wake up.
Celeste.
You're okay. Certainly don't feel okay. Feel every part of your body aching. It's painful for you to even sit up like this. Are you okay, friend?
So, but that means that Aster doesn't have a contract with,
No.
Aster doesn't have a contract with... Eris.
No.
Anyway, what happened?
It could also be an agreement in principle, though. That doesn't have the same guards as a magically binding contract. I don't know.
Could have just been a verbal agreement.
It could have.
We don't know. It also just might not have been Aster. Everything's pointing to him, though.
You died.
What?
I've never brought anyone back from something like that. That was my strongest spell, too. You have no idea how lucky you are. If I wasn't here, who knows what might have happened.
I don't understand. The last thing I remember was issuing my divine edict. Wait,
Was that the cause?
but I've done it before without any problems. I just used it this morning. Why did the divine edict... or... narrator...
Why did the Divine Edict harm you? It does not
Aster does not have a blood contract with
the Empress of
the
Discord.
Emperors of Discord. It might be because Aster doesn't have a blood contract with the Empress. If demons are unable to lie, the same might hold true for angels as well. The divine edict is clearly some sort of divine magic, so asking for a blood contract that doesn't exist might be considered a lie.
Sorry. It's my fault for suggesting it.
No, I was being reckless.
Please be more careful. I don't think my heart can take this.
Well, at least we know Aster wasn't behind this.
He was the most obvious one. Either way, you should still make note of this.
Aster and Wyverngard has no blood contract with the Emperors of Discord. Obviously. Anyways, it's clear that I can't just issue these edicts without thinking. I'll just have to wait until I'm certain of the patron's identity.
Just please be careful. Looks like you found everything you can here. Perhaps you should go somewhere else.
Which
to the
reminds me
cathedral,
of-
I suppose.
Why did Eris say that something else was in effect, which is why she revived him?
Who knows? I wonder if there was a contract with Tyrion's mother.
Maybe.
Who knows? You arrive back at the Grand Cathedral of the Scaled Lord. You probably won't need to investigate the crime scenes again, but you wonder if Aster or Lucio might be here.
No, Mr. Cuthbert.
As you enter, you're approached by Aster, Alark, and Lucio.
How was your investigation? Are you okay? You look quite pale. Yeah, there's a bit of an accident earlier. Ooh, that would have changed if we went here first.
Probably wouldn't have seen them if we came here first.
Probably. I'm just a genius. I'm just a genius. What can I say?
You're a little too embarrassed to admit that you almost ended up dying.
Well, try to exude more caution next time. It'd be dishonorable if you didn't fall by my hand. Why is everything you say so aggressive?
Anyways, you finally have your next suspect here. But judging from the evidence you've gathered, it's very unlikely that Aster is the patron. You do wonder if he saw something, though.
Why are you looking at me like that, Cuthbert? Oh, sorry.
If he attacked you in Frigga Manor, you've always been a little wary of him. For Celeste reflexes, he might have very well killed you that day.
I'm not going to attack you again. I hope you can understand my uneasiness. You did almost kill me the first time we met. What? That's not... That's because you're a Heavensborn. What? What does me being a Heavensborn have to do with this? It's difficult to explain to someone like you. Warriors such as I must hone and develop our senses to survive in battle. Eventually, we develop the ability to sense hidden enemies and anticipate danger. That's what Celeste is feeling from Eris.
Ooh, yep.
I'd heard that such senses are heightened when in the presence of extraplanar entities. Until I met you and Beatrice Frega's familiar, I thought those stories were complete nonsense. Me and Marnath. As a Heavensborn, your blood is said to originate from the heavens. I wouldn't go so far as to say that I believe in the existence of other planes, but I admit that I still feel a certain aura from you that doesn't quite feel human. So that's why you attacked me. That was exuding a threatening aura. It was actually the opposite. Your aura was too calming and benign. I thought it must be some kind of trick or illusion. I see. That's quite an astounding ability. What about you, McCoy?
What?
Did you not sense a similar aura when you first met him? Is that true?
Well... Wow, it's a really fancy carriage outside. I wonder who it belongs to. Oh, there's someone inside the inn, too. Is that guy visiting my dad? Oh, wow. He's kind of cute. We didn't hear that the first time. I don't remember hearing that the first time.
I was going to say, I mean, she didn't really feel calm, she just fell in love.
Yeah. It was kind of similar. As you feel a little embarrassed.
Aster, I'm sure you know why I'm here. It's because I'm one of your suspects, isn't it? Your Majesty, you are the reigning king of Wyverngard. I expect you to conduct yourself with more dignity. Of course, my apologies, Lord Steele.
Wow, what a dick. Doesn't let him fanboy anymore.
Anyways, questioning you is honestly a formality at this point. Really. A lot of the evidence works in your favor.
Doesn't have a blood contract with the Empress after all.
Sorry, Lucio killed my voice.
Yeah, you're basically just talking to yourself in like two completely different registers in this scene.
Well, I appreciate your vote of confidence nonetheless. Lucio, have you made any headway in figuring out who set that trap for Aster? No, I haven't. It makes me uneasy that you let someone get that close to my father's body. Yes, I can't begin to apologize for my men's incompetence. If they were more vigilant, perhaps we could have avoided this whole tragedy entirely. So your men were guarding the late king's coffin? Yes, there wasn't a single moment when his body was left unguarded. You found traces of illusion magic at the location of the force cage. Although we're still not sure about who could have set that trap.
So it really could have been anyone, huh? Someone who was able to set an illusion.
And, well, they would also have to be able to cast contingency.
Yes.
They would need illusion, contingency, any sort of illusion magic, contingency, and force cage.
Yes. But man, isn't force cage said to be like
the highest level abjuration? Yeah.
Not only that, but like developed by the Von Sanctus family.
But Von Sanctus himself cannot cast contingency.
You're just saying he's not the only Von Sanctus in existence. Isn't there another Von Sanctus who was very
Ocean
recently
Lotion?
scorned?
Ocean Lotion?
Yeah, Ocean Lotion. Yeah, Jaden Von Sanctus.
Yeah, Jaden Von Sanctus. But what would he get out of that? What would he get out of murdering his own father?
I don't know. Well, and why protect the king? Or why trap the king instead of just kill him?
Yeah.
And
like,
also why polymorph the little prince instead of killing him?
Yes.
it's still. Was it okay? Unless we find out there was another person at like the marriage meeting, then it's still got to either be the High Speaker or Aster. I don't know.
And I honestly can't think of any reason why the High Speaker would do this.
I don't know either. I mean, he was willing to commit a mass suicide ritual just by seeing Rithalion. Well, that would have gotten him out of talking if that had been what anyone wanted. I don't know. It's still.
There are also members of the Kingsguard that can cast both Force Cage and Glyph of Contingency. And many of them fell comatose during the massacre. So we don't even know if one of them betrayed us. You think my men are that weak, Your Majesty? I think anyone can be made weak when put through enough stress. Regardless, you have no way of telling who may have been guarding the coffin when the trap was set. This means that we have no way of telling when that Glyph of Contingency was set. I was actually meaning to ask about that. Couldn't we wait for the 48 hours to elapse? If we make note of the exact time the traces of evocation disappear, we can work backwards to discern the exact time the trap was set. Well, normally we could. When the spell activated, I unfortunately panicked and cast a firebolt to try to destroy it. Of course, it didn't even put a dent in the Force Cage. Because of that, he left traces of evocation at the exact location of the Glyph of Contingency. We can't discern which traces were left by the patron's Glyph of Contingency or His Majesty's firebolt.
Interesting. Hiding the Glyph of Contingency.
I'm terribly sorry about that. At 2 p.m., Aster and Wyvern Guard went to pay his respects at his father's coffin. Unbeknownst to him, there's a Glyph of Contingency set to trap him inside a Force Cage. The trap triggered and Aster was trapped in that magical cage for its duration. Aster attempted to break the Force Cage by casting Firebolt. This created fresh traces of evocation, which makes it impossible to tell when the Glyph of Contingency was placed. There are traces of illusion magic at the crime scene. This might imply that someone hid themselves from the guards as they set this trap.
Can't blame him for reacting like that, but it's going to make figuring out who did this that much more difficult.
Have either of you spoken to Arya since the trial? We have. I think she's doing the best she can, all things considered. No thanks to you. What? She's only in this situation because of you. Lucio, that's not... me. You're the one who's heartlessly prosecuting her. She's far too weak for this. If that's what you truly think of her, you're grossly misunderstanding the kind of person that she is. She defied the role you tried to force onto her, and she instead dedicated herself to fixing our broken kingdom. Ever since it started, all you've done is insult her. But you know nothing about her, and she's far stronger than you realize. Despite her lineage, she's always carved her own path and pursued her own justice. Her own path? She only became a prosecutor because of His Majesty. What are you talking about? She became a prosecutor to fix our corrupt justice system from the inside. And who do you think put those ideas into her mind? She wanted to fix our justice system. She could have easily done so by slowly weakening House Sybil's influence. But she knew about your strange idolization of Ruby Tamara. And she knew how closely you followed each and every one of her cases. I know why she became a prosecutor. She thought that if she became like your idol and defeated her, he might finally notice her. You're wrong, Lucia. Arya Steelman would never care about me that much. Are you seriously that dense? When you were still engaged to Lady Freyga, you flaunted your relationship in front of my daughter with no regard for her feelings. I remember each and every time I heard her silently crying in her quarters because of how oblivious you are. She's changed every part of herself in order to please you.
Is he getting angry on her behalf?
I had no idea. My daughter is far stronger than any of us, but she's weak when it comes to you. Lucille, there's no point in fighting amongst ourselves. Please, stay focused on the investigation.
No. Keep spilling the tea. I'm here for it. Seems he cares for Arya a lot more than you realized. The eye shows that his feelings are genuine. Then why is he doing everything he can to convict her? Mood is a little tense.
I must ask you, Cuthbert, why are you going to such lengths for my daughter? What do you mean? Surely you understand the gravity of the situation. Fight! Kiss!
Man, do I go so far as to suggest it's a Rooster Teeth reference, or,
By taking part in this trial, you risk drawing the ire of both the nobility and whoever this Empress of Discord is. What are you planning?
Hey! Rest in peace, Rooster Teeth.
Lucio, I'm not planning anything. Please, do you honestly expect me to believe that you're doing this out of the goodness of your heart? Well, Scaled Lord, you actually are doing it for that reason. This is what all Heavensborn are like. And I don't like thinking about it that way. I just can't stand by while I see injustice taking place. Even if you're standing in my way, I'll do whatever it takes to save Arya. I wouldn't throw around such promises so loosely. I'm not. I will save her, Lucia.
Anyways, it appears you still have no idea who set that trap for Aster. Judging from the spell compendiums you have, neither Arya nor Beatrice could have set that trap. But the patron could also be a mage. That means that they could have set the trap too. Either way, it looks like you won't be getting any new information here. You highly doubt that the person who orchestrated this is any of the people you've met thus far. There's one last person you need to talk to.
If he's not fucking dead from being Julius Caesared last time.
Pretty sure he is, but we'll find out. Make your way back to the alleyway that Tamora brought you to a month ago. Be too conspicuous to bring the Kingsguard with you, so they've hidden themselves in a building nearby. Gave Celeste an enchanted runestone to hold and channel her magic into. If she ever stops focusing her magic into it, the Kingsguard will be notified and they'll storm the building. Oh. Got like a dead man switch. Interesting. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's do this.
The Eye Taker is your prime suspect. Everyone else has an alibi and lacks a motive. Not to mention, Eris was with Beatrice when she went missing. Don't want to suspect her, but her father is a criminal. And she still hasn't turned up since the massacre.
Alright, on 3. 1,
2.
3. It's gonna be blood everywhere. What?
There's no one here.
Damn it!
Of course he's not here. You betrayed him and you knew where his hideout was. Take a close look at the desk he was sitting at during your previous visit. There's a thick layer of dust on it. Doesn't look like anyone's been here for a while. Must have moved his operation elsewhere the day you convicted Beatrice. I guess there's no point in staying hidden anymore. See Celeste toss the Kingsguard runestone onto the ground. A few seconds later, you hear the footfalls of soldiers rushing towards your location. Freeze! In the name of the Wyvern Guard, Seam freezes, scans the room and sees no one else there. Careful, sir. They appear to have turned themselves invisible.
They're not here, you idiot!
Oh. Let a frustrated sigh, take a seat on a chair nearby. A cloud of dust is launched into the air as you do so.
He had the last piece we needed. None of the other suspects had the means nor the motive to do this. But he's probably long gone by now. It's over.
I'm sorry. But you did everything you could, didn't you?
It wasn't good enough.
Part of you knew that it was a long shot. If you were involved in this, he'd definitely keep his head down.
What do we do now? There has to be someone who knows where he is.
Wait a minute.
Actually, there is one person who might know where he is.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Time to see his mom. Time to see his mom.
What do you... Wait. You don't mean...
At this point, it's the only option we have.
Are you sure? You two aren't exactly...
I know, but I can't let my personal feelings get in the way of saving Arya.
Not looking forward to seeing her again. At least, that's what you keep telling yourself. I have to process these feelings later. You have a job to do.
Let's go.
Repario Arcanum.
It was worth a look.
I never got a chance to look at this painting the last time we were here. Looks like some kind of crime lord.
If I'm right, he was one of the previous Eye Takers. Back then, he had an even tighter grip on the criminal underbelly of Redholm. People used to call him the Raging Storm.
But isn't Eye Taker already a nickname?
Look, sir, I don't come up with these nicknames. Fair?
Fair enough. It's a bookshelf filled with several fantasy fiction novels. And there are a lot of books from a series that I've read.
Hold on.
I wonder, is fantasy in this world like our world?
They use this thing called electricity, and they use it to make rocks do math. It's crazy.
They have these carriages that run without horses.
Yeah.
They call them cars.
And for some reason, they value them over like the other like mass transportation they've invented, such as similarly buses and these things they call trains that like run on like rails on the ground. It's great. Why do they just take
They
the
also
cars?
don't have monarchies.
They let the people decide who rules them. That's fucking madness. It's anarchy.
Scaled Lord. Scaled Lord above.
Don't worry, a lot of them are really corrupt, so it's not all that different.
So, surprisingly real for fantasy, eh?
Yeah, it's. I read fantasy to get away from real life, not.
It's the table that the Eye Taker sat at the last time you were here. There's a thick layer of dust on it now. There are several fantasy novels stacked on the desk here. The Eye Taker must be a fan of the genre. It looks like this fireplace hasn't been lit in a while, but I can still see the burnt remnants of some documents. Window.
Oh, true.
I can see the back alley entrance from this window. The Eye Taker must have used this to get a good look at visitors.
Well,
Okay, that's all. Temora Law Offices.
that doesn't look intimidating at all.
That's fine.
You arrive at the office of Tamora's law firm. According to Arya, Tamora is still practicing, so it looks like she hasn't gone into hiding like the Eye Taker apparently did. And if anyone knows where he currently is, she will. Bring your hand up to knock on the door, but you stop for a moment. Sir? For everything that's happened, you still don't feel ready to face her. Past month, all those things you said to her keep replaying in your mind. Feel the familiar warmth of Celeste's hand again. Take a deep breath and steel your resolve. You knock on the door. Every moment of silence thereafter fills you with anxiety and dread. I'm sorry for the inconvenience, but I'm not currently accepting clients at... Cuthbert?
Everything but anger.
She looks completely frozen for a while. Her gaze narrows as she notices the legion of knights escorting you. Are you... here to arrest me?
No, of course not. Can we come in?
Yes, of course. Take a seat inside the office, but you can't really think of anything to say. The knights aren't really helping to alleviate the tension.
Hi, Celeste. Could you take the knights outside and do a perimeter of the building?
What? But... are you sure?
I am.
But what if something happens?
Celeste, we're in a populated building in the capital city of Wyverngard. I think I'll be fine.
No, but... sorry, you're right. I'll just... With a motion of her hand, the knights follow her out of the office. Right before she leaves, she waits at the door and looks at you for a while. But after a while, she realizes how long she's been staring, quickly closes the door. Now then, let's get this over with. Alright, start with small talk, I guess. Is Celeste okay? She seems a bit on edge right now.
Yeah, I think she's just been overprotective lately. I don't really blame her. I did almost die a few times in the last few days.
What?
It's a long story. And I don't think I'm even allowed to talk about it, especially not with you.
That last part came out with a little more disdain than you intended. Take a deep breath.
I received your letters.
Oh. Did you...
I haven't gotten the chance to read them yet.
Gotten the chance? Of course. Whenever you're not busy. This is really awkward. But you're going to have this conversation sooner or later. Perhaps it would be best to just be direct.
Mr. Mora, I trusted you.
I know.
I trusted you. I told you everything about myself. I put all of my hopes into you. And you lied to me. You told a criminal about the Eye of Horus. It took me years before I was comfortable enough to tell you about it, and you knew that. Why did you even adopt me? You could have just left me in Aranax and moved on with your life. Why would you pull me into this?
Sounds like she's trying to look for an answer, but nothing comes to her.
I've started thinking about what my life could have been like. I could have done so many things. I might have been able to move on from losing my mother. But you adopted me, you made my entire life focused around that one moment.
I had a son once. Before you, I mean.
What?
I wasn't always a city person. I used to live in an old farm town, just like McCoy's. Son and I used to run an old tea shop, just the two of us.
What, you ran a tea shop?
I know. It's ridiculous now that I think about it. But I was really happy back then.
What happened?
One night, a local nobleman had too much to drink at the local tavern. He barged into our shop and started destroying it with his magic. My son tried to stop him, but the Inquisition swept that entire case under the rug, obviously. They said that the nobleman felt threatened and acted in self-defense. She never told you about this before.
What was his name?
It was Ryan.
Oh. What did you do after Ryan died?
Thought long and hard about what I wanted to do. I was hurt and blinded by rage, so I decided I would take justice into my own hands.
What, you didn't...
No. At the time, I thought that killing him would be too easy. Broke into his manor and found every incriminating document I could find. I found everything, from records of illegitimate children to plots he was making against other noble houses. I released everything to the public. It absolutely ruined him. That's when I realized there was a way to make them pay. You didn't have to harm or kill anyone. You could just beat them at their own game. You could use you could use the rules and laws they made against them.
Just like an attorney.
Yeah, just like an attorney. I realized that I moved to the city and started studying law. Read every book there was to read about Wyverngard's laws, and I learned how to work the system. Yeah, you could really just shorten that to, rules and laws. Raws. Started representing clients who were clearly being framed by the nobility, but I really didn't care about saving them. I just wanted to see the look on each noble's face when I implicated them with irrefutable evidence. But it got more difficult. Started punching higher, the nobles got smarter and more influential. I continued to equip my clients, but the trials got closer and closer each time. But I was arrogant, and I felt invincible. Thought that no matter what happened, justice would prevail. And then your mother's case happened. Never met someone that remarkable before. She had this way of making you feel happy, no matter what kind of mood you were in.
Yeah, I remember.
But I failed her. And I failed you.
Mr. Mora, I never once blamed you for what happened.
I know. But that doesn't change the fact that I couldn't acquit her. She was executed because I didn't do enough. When you asked me to train you to be an attorney, I was blinded by my desperation. I felt so alone and helpless. I wanted someone, anyone, to carry this burden with me. So how pathetic must I have been that I'd look for that in a grieving 10-year-old child? When I looked at you, all I wanted to see was myself. I saw a hurt and broken person who wanted revenge on the nobility. But I was too self-centered to realize that you were nothing like me. You care about people, and you cared more about saving your clients than harming the nobility. I think I knew all along, but I just refused to see it. Maybe you were right about me.
What?
Maybe I was just using you to make myself feel better. I took you from your home and forced you to dedicate your life to my dream. Maybe I never really cared. If I did care about you, I would have never pulled you into a life like this. I'm sorry. And I can't begin to apologize for doing that to you. That shows that our feelings are genuine. But does that even matter at this point?
I've been thinking long and hard about this. I want to forgive you, Mr. Mora, but I don't know if I can.
I don't blame you.
But I want to try.
She looks away from you for a moment. She wipes a single tear.
Mr. Mora?
No. Don't call me that.
What?
If you can truly find it in your heart to forgive me, I want things to be different this time. I'm not your superior nor your mentor anymore. We're equals now. So, call me by my first name.
Okay, Ruby.
Saying it feels really strange after all these years. But you hope you can get used to it.
Right, I almost forgot the entire reason why I came here.
What is it?
I didn't just come here to reconcile. I actually need your help with something.
Okay.
I need you to help me speak to the Eye Taker.
Tyrion.
I know. Considering the circumstances, it would probably strain your partnership with him even more.
Tyrion.
But if you just tell me where he is, I'll do my best to make sure it doesn't get traced back to you.
Tyrion. The Eye Taker is dead.
What?
He died right after you convicted Beatrice. He was lynched by a mob of civilians.
He did get Caesared.
He got Caesared.
What?
Happy belated Ides of March, everybody. Happy belated Ides of March. Everyone's saying that it was some sort of retaliation from House Frege. Didn't you notice that he didn't send anyone after you?
But Eris said...
Wait a minute.
By the way, is your father still...
Oh, if you're worried about him, we've already had a conversation about you. I don't think he'll be accosting you anytime soon.
Oh, thank you. Then why would Eris say that?
Eris? Who's Eris?
What? You've met her before. She has long black hair and she wears a black dress. I suppose she really likes black. Anyways, she's the Eye Taker's daughter.
Tyrion? The Eye Taker's daughter has red hair.
What? She was there when we spoke to him during Beatrice's trial.
That's right. What are you talking about? She was never at that meeting.
What?
What is going on? She was clearly there. If it weren't for her intervention, the Eyetaker would have attacked at that very moment. Why are you remembering things differently?
Sorry, Lucio. Whoever this patron is, they have full ownership of her mind. Could have easily commanded her to forget signing the contract in the first place. It's probably why she can't remember what happened during the massacre.
No.
Tyrion, what's wrong? Why are you looking at me like that? What if he really hopes you're wrong about this?
Why are Ruby's memories different from yours? Ruby signed a blood contract.
It's the only explanation you can think of. But why? Memories seem intact except for her memories of Eris. Since her disappearance, you've highly suspected that she was involved in this. Not only was she at the scene of the crime, she went missing at the same time that Beatrice did. But you never thought to ask one question.
Who is Eris Ilmater? Is a qualified attorney.
He's a qualified attorney. Well, she can't lie.
She can't lie.
A flood of memories come back to you.
Warriors such as I must hone and develop our senses to survive in battle. Eventually, we develop the ability to sense enemies and anticipate danger. I'd heard that such senses are heightened when in the presence of extraplanar entities. I thought those stories were complete hogwash until I met you and Beatrice Frega's familiar.
Tyrion, I've fought literal monsters and barely escaped with my life. But when I'm near Eris, none of those creatures even come close. I get this feeling. It's like I'm in front of a predator that I could never hope to beat. Every instinct I have tells me to run whenever she's close by. I'm terribly sorry. He's not usually like this. It's to be expected. I'm not sure why, but animals have always disliked me. Still very little you know about demons. So what's to say that one can't take the appearance of a human? But it's still a long shot. But there is one way to find out for sure. Tyrion, talk to me. What's wrong?
Ruby, I'm about to do something stupid. If I fall unconscious, I need you to call Celeste and tell her to contact Lord Asclepius or the Archduke.
What? If you're wrong about this, there's no way either of them will get here in time. But it's already late and the trial resumes tomorrow. Can't waste any more time traveling to either of their locations.
Eris Ilmater, wherever you are and whatever you are. By the Eye of Horus, I issue upon you a divine edict. Release thy guards and manifest your blood contract with Ruby Tamora.
So, you finally figured it out, my
Look at her
dearest
occupation.
Tyrion.
Oh, I missed that.
This entire time, I've been chasing you.
Yep.
You have. It's been so entertaining watching you scramble around.
You've been making contracts with people across Wyverngard. You took control of Arya and Beatrice. But why? Why would you want to do any of this?
Oh, I can't possibly reveal all of my secrets. This isn't the proper stage to have our final battle.
You...
But I suppose that you've come this far. So how about I give you a little gift?
Upon signing this contract, Ruby Tamora grants the Empress of Discord access to her memories. At any time, the Empress may view any and all Tamora's memories. In addition to that, the Empress may instantaneously change and alter her memories whenever she wishes. It's signed with Ruby Tamora's name.
What was that?
Ruby, Eris Ilmater is a demon. And she's not just any demon, she's the Empress of Discord. And you signed a blood contract with her. That's why you can't remember anything about her.
What? Tyrion, I swear on my life that I didn't know anything about this.
I know. She probably tricked you into signing this. Just like she tricked Arya.
Arya? What does the prosecutor have to do with this? Come on, you two. I know things are kind of tense, but there's no need to... What are you holding? Is that a blood contract?
Celeste, Eris is the Empress of Discord.
What?
It was her the entire time. She tricked Arya into signing a blood contract with her. And she probably controlled her and Beatrice to orchestrate the entire massacre.
What? Tyrion, this is crazy. I know I was scared of her that one time, but how could Eris be a demon? She looks nothing like Marnath.
I know how unbelievable it is, but I used my divine edict with her name. That wouldn't have worked unless she was a demon.
Yeah, I guess I can't disagree with that. You fucking used the divine edict again, you fucking moron. We'll need to contact the Grand General immediately.
But if she's really a demon, is it even possible to arrest her?
It's already been a day. For someone like her, that would be more than enough time to skip town.
We'll need to speak with the Archduke about this. Thank you, Ruby. You've helped us more than you could ever know.
Yeah, of course.
Celeste, let's meet up with everyone. We'll need to discuss our next course of action.
Right. About to leave Ruby's office when she stops you. Tyrion, have you been using the Eye of Horus lately?
Yeah. I can't say much about what I'm doing right now, but I am in the middle of a case.
It's just that...
What's wrong?
Never mind. I don't think it's my place to say anything. I think I'm just being my usual paranoid self. I'm not the one with the ability to read minds anyways. So if you're not seeing it, it's probably nothing.
Okay.
I know you can't tell me about what you're doing, and I have no idea what could possibly involve the Kingsguard, Steelwind, and the Empress of Discord. But just stay safe, okay? You're the only family I have left.
I will. I promise.
Thank you. Finally found the lead you've been looking for. We're not sure where this will take you. Knowing what you know now, you're almost a little afraid of what might happen.
What?
Okay.
Did you die?
No. I'm just
Did you realize
thinking
something?
gears are turning. Ability to wipe memories. Entirely possible that our two suspects have no recollection. So just
No, because
saying.
the divine... that's also possible, but the divine edict showed that Astrid literally did not have a blood contract.
Sure. High Speaker, though. He could not remember. I don't know. I'm just saying, it's a little weird that the High Speaker was there and saw Arya throw the body into the lake and wasn't attacked. And was just able to, walk away and go with her to the prayer room.
No, but he didn't go with her to the prayer room.
He followed after her, but didn't see the fight with Celeste. And the guards were both still up there.
Remember, she was walking away from the prayer room.
She's walking away from the prayer room. Something's not adding up there. Something is not adding up there. Who is Eris? Why would she go to the trouble of orchestrating any of this? She not only impersonated the Eye-Taker's daughter, she also pretended to be her friend. What's her goal in all this? Hopefully tomorrow will finally bring you the answers you're looking for.
Is something wrong, Commander?
Don't play dumb with me. They told me what you really are. What's your game, demon? Why would you just deliver yourself to our doorstep?
Oh, Orem. I put far too much work into this story to miss
She's
the
definitely
final
doing
act.
it to entertain herself.
I can't wait to see how this ends.
You killed 3 people and enslaved an innocent girl. Is this all some kind of game to you?
That's exactly what this is to me. I'll admit, looking back, it
Thank you, Sieg.
does feel a bit derivative.
Thank you, Sieg.
but I think I've done enough to differentiate myself from those that came before. It's a shame about the timing of it all, though.
You're goddamn insane.
That took you long enough to notice. I guess the oafish Inquisition commander does have some observational skills after all.
Whatever. You just better not try anything.
You know I can't lie, so I'll reassure you. I promise, I won't harm anyone while I'm in this prison.
Ugh.
Finally approaching the climax, Tyrion. No more deductions, no more talking, no more god-awful teasing when we both know who was really behind this. It's just me and you.
Yeah, we're finishing this tonight.
Absolutely. We're absolutely finishing this tonight.
I don't care if this takes us another 7 hours, we're finishing this.
Hello, your lordship. I think this is the first time we've met. You're a lot smaller than I expected.
Bitrate.
Oh, what the fuck?
Bitrate,
What the fuck?
bitrate.
No! Stream just needs a break. Stream just needs a little break. Stream just needs a little break. It just needs a little break.
It really did not like us announcing that we're gonna finish the game tonight.
Okay, okay, we're still a little unstable. Ooh, okay, we've dropped back down to 0.
Nope. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad.
Okay, curious if there's not, like, if I can't, like, target a slightly lower bit rate, see if that won't help. What am I trying to target right now?